Well, every day we tell you the stories of other people's lives, but tonight we want to share a very personal story of one of our own. Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day is coming up tomorrow, and Heidi, this is a very personal topic for you. For the first time, you're sharing your story of loss with all of us. This may be hard to watch, but it is important. So let's take a look, and when that story is done, we have a little more to share with you.
Look at you! You're doing so good.
Feelings you can't explain that. It's overwhelming love. Just like that's a part of you, like right there. That's part of you and the person you love, all mixed in. It's absolutely incredible.
This video was taken only one day before Lillian was rushed to the hospital. Just days later, she died.
It wasn't any particular day where we really noticed she was getting sick. She would, spit up after eating a lot, probably after she turned about a month old, and then the spitting up turned into vomiting.
It was Memorial Day weekend when Lillian stopped eating. There was blood in her diaper and her stomach looked enlarged. After a visit to her pediatrician, Lillian was sent to the Women and Children's Hospital in Charleston.
They take her into the emergency room. They give her, a few tests in the emergency room, like take her blood and everything. And I thought that was going to be the worst of it. Sitting there watching them poke your baby, with needles and not being able to find a vein on just this little helpless, light of your world. And then hearing her scream, I had to step out. I couldn't be in there.
From there, Lillian had an ultrasound.
As soon as the tech put the wand on her stomach, she just stopped talking to us.
It was that moment when everything changed.
Nurse came in, and the tech goes to the nurse, "I need to talk to you in the hallway." That's when I looked at Bryce and said, "No." I go, "Something's really wrong." Nurse came back in, she goes, "Something's wrong." She goes, "We don't know what." And that's all we were going to hear for days was, "We don't know."
The hours and days that followed would turn Heidi's world upside down. Lillian was flown to Pittsburgh, where she was put into intensive care. Another ultrasound revealed a mass on her liver. Doctors also found spots on Lillian's lungs.
Kept running test after test, still couldn't get a solid answer. They decided they had to do a biopsy, and they figured the lung would be the safest way to do it because the liver was so vascular that if they touched the liver, she could die just from the surgery.
That night, Heidi and her husband Bryce received the phone call that would change their lives. The nurse telling them to get back to the hospital. Lillian wasn't doing well.
I thought she was already dead. I thought she was going to be dead when we got to the room. When we got there, there were 10 doctors in her room just working over her. It looked like a scene out of a movie.
After 15 minutes and several blood transfusions, the doctor says the words Heidi never thought she'd hear.
She looked me dead in the eye and she goes, "This is when I tell mothers to hold their babies."
And that's exactly what she did.
We said our goodbyes and all I could say to her was, "I love you." And for some reason, all I could keep saying is, "You're so perfect." That's all I could keep saying. And Bryce gave her a kiss on the forehead, said his goodbyes, and I just couldn't think of anything else to do. I just wanted it to feel like we were at home and that she was just sleeping, and that's all we were doing. We just fed her, and now she's just trying to go to sleep, so I just started singing.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Heidi would later find out that Lillian had a rare form of cancer called angiosarcoma. She was laid to rest 4 months ago with so many dreams left unfulfilled.
You have all these plans for this child, and you always dream what they're going to become, what they're going to do with their lives, and you don't get to see those dreams be fulfilled. You don't get to see what they end up looking like when they're older. You don't just lose that child, you lose everything they were going to be.
Heidi is still keeping Lillian's memory alive, and with courage, bringing hope to mothers just like her who are silently suffering.
Don't be afraid to talk about your babies. They were real. They existed. It doesn't matter if you lost the pregnancy in the first trimester or if you lost a child in the first year of their life or years after, they were real. They were your babies.
Not a day goes by that I don't think of you. I'm always asking why this crazy world had to lose such a ray of light we never knew.
Well, Heidi, we just want to thank you for sharing this very personal story with us. You were one of the bravest and toughest women that I know. And despite this loss, we have some good news to share with our viewers, some hope in all of this.
There is a little bit of hope here. We're still hurting. We hurt every day, but we now want to take the time to announce to you at home that yes, I am expecting, and I'm about 14 weeks along, and we are due exactly 1 day after Lillian's first birthday. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will, because that just brings all the hope in the world, and we are so thankful for all of you for sticking through all of this with us, and I'm excited to have you on our next journey with hopefully a much better and happier ending.
All of us at WVNS, of course, are so happy for you and Bryce that you're expecting, and this new baby will have the best guardian angel there is. We'll be right back. Stay with us here on 59 News.